All right, good morning. Let's get started on this Monday, the 23rd of March. So things to know before the open. Well, these were obviously written before Donald Trump sent out a tweet or whatever press release he sent out. Actually, let's look at this. Trump tells CNBC, "We are very intent on making a deal with Iran." I don't know if anybody saw the incredible candle or candles. There we go. There's the market as of a few minutes after 7 a.m. Incredible bullish candle on everything. And whether it stays there, who knows? Whoever was short and had stops above the high of Friday, hopefully they were stopped out before we made new highs. But anyway, so that's the news. And then we had stocks were higher as market sees an end to the 4 straight weeks of losses. Oil prices retreat because if things get settled in the Middle East, the oil prices are going to come down. Gold, silver extend their slump. Tesla, SpaceX look to build a chip factory amid AI ambitions. This is an absolutely incredible story. The size of what they're planning on building is really important. And unfortunately, I just read this as well this morning that there was an Air Canada flight that crashed into a ground crew or a fire truck, and unfortunately the pilot and co-pilot were killed in that crash. So those are the things to know before the market open. As far as the economic calendar is concerned, I have not looked at it yet. I will reload, and it seems very weak, as in there's not much going on today, so not much to worry about there. And as far as earnings, we're pretty much at the end of the earnings for this quarter or the last quarter of 2025, probably until April, the first couple weeks of April before we start seeing earnings again. I will be putting my levels on these 10 tickers, but I will also start looking more intently into the futures market. So I have opened up a Top Step account, and I have started the combine or registered for the combine. I have not started it yet. Today being Monday, everything going on in the markets right now. I'm not in a hurry. I plan on sharing my journey of getting back into futures. I have not traded futures since probably late 2024. So I will slowly be getting back into it. And I figured, why not get back into it with a prop firm? That way I've got skin in the game, and I'm going to share my journey with that prop firm with you guys, as well as my students, as well as putting it out on YouTube. So thanks for the thumbs up there. Hopefully it benefits some people. I'm also going to be sharing my tools, things that I've been working on. Do I have them open here? I'll share things like this. Important tools to know how to use, and I want to be able to explain every moving part. You know, what is the tick size? What is the tick value? What are all these products here? So over the coming weeks, that's what I plan on sharing. So here we go. Those of you know me, that they know I do not trade the open. With the futures market, I will likely not take anything until after 10 a.m. And with the back testing, I've been doing most of what it is that I see for my strategies happens later on in the session, which I will not be on live in Avi's group. However, I will be making recordings of whatever setups I take. So here we go. I've got the 30-minute charts of Apple over here. A massive, massive candle this morning on possibly I say possibly because it was, I don't know what was put out. Was it a press release from the White House, or was it a Truth Social post? Who knows? But a massive candle like this, I do not trust it. I am absolutely going to be waiting to see what smart money does once the market opens. But that being said, up above here is a level of resistance from last week. I will take this level here and I will put it here. It's pretty much where we got to. So what could very well happen this morning, considering this was a massive breakout, it could come back down and retest this area, basically close the gap. And then if smart money is actually believing all this, we could be making new highs. But like I said, not much I'm looking at early in the session. I am still going to put the levels up here. So as far as where the market is right now, room to the left, it would have to come back up to the tops here to wick these participants out and then see what happens at this level. Is this still resistance, or are we going to be making new highs above this? And you know what? I think every single ticker I'm going to be looking at is going to be a very, very similar story. I already had this area of liquidity mapped out in AMD. Could not make higher highs above this a couple weeks ago, Wednesday, March 11th, and came down from there. So this could very well be resistance again. If we do make it above R4 here, it could be a buy up into this range, but I want to see what it does at the highs here, because where price is, especially lower than where price is right now, there's absolutely no room to the left until we come all the way back down to pre-market low. And like I said, it's going to be a very similar story on many tickers. As far as AMD is concerned, Amazon is concerned, we have not gone higher than where we were a few days ago, because Amazon, if you remember, was one of those tickers that was going against basically what everything else was doing. But there is room to the left above these wicks. So it would have to show me what it's doing in this area, whether we're buying or selling. I want to see who's in control. Same thing with Google. Let's zoom in a bit. Right, similar price action with Google. We broke out, retested this massive 30-minute fair value gap here. And I want to see what price will do in this area above the wicks. This was resistance this morning. It was obvious that we weren't going to go up to all-time highs very quickly, especially with low liquidity. Pre-market here, you do not have all the big players joining in. So we want to see how will they react this morning. Meta, a big gap, but Meta has been on a down, so is everything else, but has been moving down over the last little while. It did pop up, but only to the highs of pre-market on Friday. So this one would be very interesting. What's it going to do over here? Will it reject this area? Will it pop up and reject and come back to close the gap? Or will it do like everything else and really find support here and start buying? Microsoft. I think we would need more than a tweet to really continue. I think we need proof that things are settling down or being settled in the Middle East. Interesting candles on Microsoft over here. We popped up and we're wicking up and finding temporary support here. I say temporary because the market isn't open yet, but this level here of 383.50 is very interesting. I'd be looking at what it's going to do over here. If it chops around this area, this might be a strong level of support. Again, we'll see what happens once the market opens. NVIDIA was getting into an incredible area over here. An incredible area. I was telling some of my students over the weekend. We were talking about long-term investments into NVIDIA, and I was saying that there are a lot of people that are planning on buying in this area here. And if this doesn't hold support, then we were looking at the 153 area as a long-term area of support and buying. This is a massively important company. I think there's going to be a lot of buying in this. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen in this level again. As far as NVIDIA is concerned, there's not a lot of room to the left. Maybe from where price is right now, we weren't there since Friday. And then below price, there's no room to the left other than closing that gap. So I'll be looking at, I'm curious to see what's going to happen once the market opens. I know I'm repeating myself here, but basically the same thing. We popped up, that's a lower time frame. Let's get back to 30 minutes. Let's do this. There we go. So with Tesla, that big candle, all it did was get back to pre-market highs or post-market from Friday, and seeing resistance there. So this is interesting. If it pops up and resists over here, we could be making new lows. But don't forget, there was news on Tesla about them building a mega factory for and partnering with SpaceX. So it'll be interesting to see what happens at the open. Qs, 30-minute time frame. Qs were back at pre-market or post-market on Thursday, right? We took out liquidity up there. So I'd be very curious to see, do we break out and retest and move up, or do we reject in this area? Again, I want to see what happens at the wicks highs. And I just realized I forgot to put in the pre-market high, low, and the indicators that I need on TradingView. I'll be doing that hopefully sometime this week. I'm trying to build my own indicator because there's some of them that I don't trust. But if somebody knows of a really good one, all I want is pre-market high, pre-market low, yesterday close as far, and yesterday high, yesterday low. So I want those 5 indicators on my chart, but there's nothing that's made by TradingView. So anyway, I've been building my own. 1 minute until the open. I'll come back and look at MNQ, MES, MCL, MGC. If there's anything else you guys want me to look at, but personally, what I will be trading during the Top Step Combine will mainly be MNQ and MES. I will also look at trades that I took on Friday, but I'm going to wait for the market to open. And once we see what happens in the first few minutes, then I'll revisit those trades. And those trades were what worked, the AMD short that I was talking about on Friday, the Tesla break and retest short that I was talking about, the Rivian break and retest short that I was talking about with Evo. However, the long worked as well. And then I took a golden zone continuation plus 3R trade in the Qs. So I'll revisit what worked. What didn't work, I wasn't really talking about anything else, and I didn't take any losing trades, so I don't have anything that did not work. If anybody wants me to look at anything else, please don't hesitate. Those of you that trade the open, good luck. We've got incredibly high RVOL because we're taking into consideration what happened in here. This is a very interesting candle on AMD. It is my kangaroo tail candle. However, 45 seconds in. I mean, I'm just saying that what it looked like a few seconds ago, it obviously needs to close before I can possibly take a trade on this. I will be taking equities trades over the next couple weeks. But the equities trades I will take will be on a smaller size, will be on my personal account. And I plan on taking them just to show my core setups and to basically leave them for -1 or +3. Excuse me. And my main concern over the next couple weeks will be passing the combine with Top Step, and then just basically trying to build an account with Top Step once the combine is passed. If I do pass it, I'm putting myself out there. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to pass it. But full disclosure, I've never done a prop firm before. I've always traded my own account. I'm basically doing it because it's a very, very low cost way of getting back involved in the futures market, and basically back testing or live testing my different setups, getting back into position sizing, feeling how the market works. The futures market works obviously different than the equities market and the options markets, and that's what my thinking is right now. MNQ short R4 to S or CP central pivot. I'm going to bring up MNQ. Going to bring this back to the 5-minute. There you go. There's R4. Rejecting R4 in the pre-market here. CP's down here, so good luck with that. With that trade. Those of you that trade the Camarilla pivot system in a lower range, if we open below R4, R4 can be a resistance area, and it can absolutely go from R4 to S4. Aiming for CP is obviously better than if you can get your risk to reward ratio in line by aiming for CP. If you have to aim for S4, then that's obviously a lot more. The range is much higher, and it is below the weekly low. And I put a 2 over here because it was 2 weeks. So if I go to the weekly, we had 2 weeks here. 2 last weeks, that was the low, that was a support. But in pre-market, we went down below it, and now we've just screamed up. So let's see what happens. Go back to the 5. A potential area of support here is where we pulled back to. By the way, you want to see something interesting here. If we put the the fibs from the low of this candle to the high of that candle, it came right back down to close to the 50 and then started making new highs. So the 50% retracement here could be a strong level of support on MNQ, as well as I think I put it on MES. On MES, it actually touched right here, and I put in just in pre-market. I was just testing out my my strategy, so I put in the long tool over here to see. Okay, well, if I were to go long here on the first bullish signal after the retest of the 50%. Could I make it up, or where is 3R? Well, it's below the high of this candle. So that's a very decent possibility. So I want to see how this plays out. And I do not trade pre-market. So this is just full disclosure. It's just testing things out. Also, full disclosure, I will be trading pre-market with futures because that's one of the reasons I'm getting back into futures, is to not have to trade between 9:30 and 11 a.m. I want to be able to trade whenever the setup happens. So any questions, comments, anybody wants to share what they're in, please don't hesitate. Oh, you meant S3. Okay. So instead of, which is even lower, let's go back to MNQ. S3. Yeah, that's awesome. From R4 to S3, it's a possibility. Who knows what's going to happen? This is a very interesting, see, now that it's closed, very interesting candle here on AMD. Monday morning, long wick. I don't feel confident in taking this, but if we reject this level here, we could absolutely be making it down to previous day close. Very small opening candles here. Everybody's wondering, what are we going to do? Right, RVOL is going to be coming down because there's less participation right now. I'm not the only one that's holding out. A lot of people are saying, okay, let's see what happens in the first little while. Like Avi says often, I want to see who's in control. And right now, I don't see that. I do not see if the buyers or the sellers are in control. Is there a possibility that people that went long here as soon as they got the news, is there a possibility that they're going to take profit if we make new lows here? There's absolutely that possibility. And they start taking profit and exiting shares quickly, then the price could absolutely continue coming down. Just want to share my thinking here on MES. I put in the fibs from the breakout to where we hit resistance after a few minutes. Let's go back to the 2-minute here. So I put in this fib pre-market this morning. Once it hit the 50 here, I wanted to see buying, and we did get it in this candle right here. So that's where I put my entry. It's a paper trade entry. I did not go live on here, and I put my stop below the wick here. If we start making new highs here, I will move my stop in, probably right at the 50 or just below R3. And if we start making new highs here, if it does, now that it's come down and seems to be buying here, if it comes back down here, I wouldn't be surprised for it to come down and take out my stop. So I'm just trying to de-risk here. So at this point, I'm putting it just underneath the R3 or where I wanted it was right at the 50. So if it comes and retests the 50 at this point, I'm okay taking a little bit less than a 1-hour loss. But the target is right at the top of this candle right over here, which is, it was from the entry, from the position size here, it was just under 3R. Again, not a real trade. Tesla's in an interesting position. It's just at the high of Friday. Right, that was the opening candle high of Friday. That's where it's pausing right now. AMD is very interesting. Now that's chopping over here, we could be making new lows. But there was a lot of buying in this 5-minute candle right here. So let's wait and see what happens here. Amazon looks like a double top. If you're looking at pre-market from 7 a.m. top, retested this area of support and resistance that I had mapped out, and now it's rejecting again. So this could be a double top. Going to put Amazon on my screen. That was on the 1 minute on Amazon. We had a very bearish engulfing candle. But I don't like the fact that, what don't I like? I don't like the fact that it didn't wick, but if this ends up being a 5-minute bearish candle and we see some selling, this might be a short on Amazon. Aiming for back down to the 208 area. But right now, it seems like the buyers are in control. Yeah, spiking up. So it just made a new high. High of this candle, 211.67, 211.81. I'm going to put an alert below the 206, below 206 over here on AMD. First 15-minute candle is closed. Quite the spread on AMD. It's a bit odd. And it seems to be pushed down. Interesting position where it's at right now. Same thing with Amazon. Seems to be struggling to make new highs. Tesla still chopping around this area here. Consolidating a bit over here. Uh, 279.15, 279.23. Hey, thanks for the comment, Shane. I just saw that from 10 minutes ago. Sorry, I'm not in the habit of having the, like I've said before, I'm losing real estate on my screen, especially now with getting into futures. But I'll try to find a spot for comments on the Google Meet. But yeah, it's honestly, we'll see how things goes. Hopefully, I don't regret publicly doing the combine. With my style of trading, I'm pretty sure it lends itself well to the prop firm combine. Right? They don't want to see. I mean, if I had gone long here in MNQ this morning and taken this profit over here in a prop firm, you wouldn't be able to get the payout because this is not sustained. It's not repeatable. It's just basically luck, right? And I don't trade these candles. You know, I wait for patterns to show up, and yeah. So I'll wait a few minutes here. I'm going to set some alerts, and then I'm going to go back to what worked on Friday. I took a trade on the Qs. I took it actually looking at MNQ, and because I wasn't set up for futures yet, I took it on the Qs. I took the signal from MNQ, but took the actual trade on the Qs. And I'll show you what it was that I was thinking, and it worked out. TQQQ up 5.83%. And Qs are up 1.8, right? So TQQQ is the leveraged There you go. So basically the same chart pattern, but much lower cost. And when it goes from 42 to 46.5, that is a larger percentage gain. So I know a lot of traders use TQQQ. Or if you can't go short in your account, you can take SQQQ. So when the market's going down, SQQQ goes up. So if you can't short in your account, you can go long SQQQ when the market is going down. Right. So hopefully that makes sense. Right now, the market is going up. Right. So we had this massive down candle. It's just the inverse ETF of TQQQ. I no longer trade those ETFs. I prefer to use the actual equities. Not that there's anything wrong with them, honestly. They're for different uses. See, now I can hear the comment. Why don't I hear it all the time? Let's go back here. Or maybe it wasn't a comment. I don't know what that notification was.
I just raised my hand.
Oh, it's somebody logging in, and I can't hear anything. My volume. Can you say what you were saying?
Can you hear me?
Ah, there we go. Now I can. It was my volume that was low. Yeah, go ahead, Shane.
Oh, you can hear me? Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to turn this into like the futures prop action hour, but
it
kinda,
will be.
huh?
It will become that. It's going to be all this, but it's also going to be futures, because that's where I'm going. So that's where I'm going to be guiding this. But it's also going to be, I'm going to try to do everything in here. So go ahead.
Oh no, so I didn't want to take away other people's time, but so with this prop firm and Amal's kind of webinar, what is your target to meet the evaluation? You know, from day one, are you saying I'm going to pay for this for 1 month and I'm going to take 1 month to get to the profit target? Or is this going to be like a week? Because I started looking at it and, you know, it's $50 a month. Well, for me, that's like a half an hour, 1 hour, whatever it would be.
Yeah.
So I should only take like a week to use that 1 hour, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Increase risk, but you're really not increasing risk. Like you're just trying to hit a target and then trade the way you're trading, but with higher risk.
Yeah, no, let me guide you through what my thinking is. Actually, I can bring it up. Let me bring up the screen here. I'm going to share my combine if I can find it. MES, is this it? This is it here. Okay, so let me share this. I'm sharing it. I believe all my account information is closed. It's behind here. If ever anybody sees anything on here, could you let me know? Because I'm going to be sharing this on YouTube.
I'm pretty good about that.
Yeah, I would really appreciate that. If I'm sharing something that should not be shared, please let me know. I'm usually pretty careful with stuff like that. But anyway, for those of you who are new to Top Step, again, I have zero affiliation. I went with Top Step because it's allowed in Canada, which not all prop firms are. It was used by Amal. And I've been saying for a while that I'm getting back into futures, but Amal's webinar really made me say, you know what? Okay, stop saying you're getting back into it and get back into it using this. So instead of testing out and sim trading in TradingView or DOS, I just figured, why not do it in here? And then I've got skin in the game. I mean, I paid, I think it was $100 and some odd for the account. Now there are two different accounts in when you're doing the combine. I don't know if I can show it. Actually, hang on 1 second. Let me see if I can go on to another account.
So you did the 100K account?
No, I did the 50,000.
Oh,
right?
but you did the no.
Exactly.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. Top Step, can I do this? And So there you go. So this is under another Google. What do you call it? This is my personal Google account. The other one's my business Google account. So over here, if you go to I'd have to log in and create an account, but anyway, I can't do it. I made a video on this. I don't really want to promote my where it is that I put my my video. I do have a YouTube channel. I'm willing to send it to Avi if he wants to put it on his, but I showed how it is that I logged into the combine. So there's two ways. There's a $49 combine, which is monthly, or when you pass that combine, you have to pay $149 to get the funded futures account. Or if you want to avoid that $149, you can pay it up front, where you have the combine included is your futures trading account, but it's more expensive. But there's a discount code with Top Step right now. So I figured, you know what, I'm gonna do that one. I cannot imagine that it's going to take me a month. However, I'm not giving myself 3 days either, because if the setups aren't there, I'm not going to take them. Even though it's pretty much a sim account, there's no real money involved, even though my goal is to make, or the goal is to make $3,000. I'm not going to be gambling, right? I'm going to try to make the $3,000 in probably 4 or 5 trades. I'm not going to risk $100 because then I need to have 30 successful trades to pass the combine, which is ridiculous. I'm also not going to bet $1,000 because my trading, I usually try to get 3 to 1. If you get $3,000 in one trade, it doesn't count, right? You have to be able to show consistency and not try to make a bundle in one trade. So the way I'm thinking about it, it's going to be the first trade I might do with $100 risk, just to make sure that I know how the platform is working. And this is all based on TradingView, which is fantastic. I mean, their charting system is with TradingView, and I know TradingView very well, how to put the different indicators and different levels, et cetera, but I'm not really familiar with their DOM, their depth of market over here, with their time in sales, et cetera. So I might do $100 risk on the first trade, but then after that, I think it'll be around $400 or $500, aiming to make $1,200 to $1,500 over a few or per trade. So I should be able to hit the $3,000 over 3, 4, 5 trades. Hopefully I don't get too many losers in there. And if I do, I might lose the challenge. Right? If you draw down $2,000, your combine is closed and you basically have to buy another one. But at $125 risk, I think, to try to pass a $50,000 account, I mean, that's a no-brainer. I mean, for me, for my account size and for what I usually trade, that's why for me, it was absolutely a good idea. So hopefully that answers your question, Shane.
Yeah, in my mind, it was pay $125. That's like 1 hour to get 4 trades instead of just 1.
Exactly.
So I never really thought of it that way until I watched that webinar, and I'm like, wow, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And then if you do the copy trading, it's just multiplicative. It starts getting out of control.
It's on the positive side, right?
Say it again. Sorry.
It starts getting out of control, but on a positive side.
Oh yeah. You start seeing big numbers, and that's why I think Amal was like, yeah, don't go out and buy like 10 accounts. Like get used to the
exactly.
I didn't read the small print. I haven't gotten into it yet. I had some family things this weekend. Yeah, if you can believe it, we just had my family Christmas yesterday.
Oh yeah, well, Merry Christmas.
It took that long for us to get together because everybody kept getting sick.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So after you do the initial profit target and you move on to the funded account, how much money do you need to be in the green to start withdrawing?
Good question. I think it's Amal has way more experience. And full disclosure, this is brand new to me, right?
Yeah.
I've traded futures. a lot in the past, but the actual Top Step or any other prop firm type account is brand new to me. So that's why I figured, you know what, I'm a teacher. That's what I do. I teach stuff, even though I don't know exactly what all the answers are. I'll learn it and you know, share my process along the way. So your question, coming back to what I think the answer is, I think it's something like 3 or 5 winning trades, and I think it's a maximum of $5,000.
Okay.
The way that I said it, and I posted an image in the, I think in general here, let me just bring it up for my own screen. So the live trading structure, I'm going to do the Top Step combine. I'm planning $300 to $500 per trade, and I'm going to use my structure of +3 or -1. My focus is controlled, repeatable execution, not big wins, 1 trade per day until the combine is passed, and full transparency using position sizing as far as my entry, my stop loss, and my take profit. Once that is passed, I'm planning on doing, here, let me share this.
Yeah, we're thinking very similar, yes.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm not trying to make $1 million with Top Step right now. I mean, the idea is just to share this stuff. So what I'm planning on doing once the Top Step combine is passed, once I have the funded account, 1% per trade. So at a $50,000 account, it's about $500. My size could increase, but I'm planning, you know what? After 25 trades, I do a lot on a 25 trade basis. My journaling is it all comes back to Mark Douglas, and you know, and my math background, the law of large numbers. I mean, you can have 4 or 5 losing trades, but over 25, 50, 100 trades is when you start really seeing if your edge is working out. And at the end of the day, if I can make, if I'm right 50% of the time with a +3 -1, I mean, that's you're printing money. You know, it's simple math. So I'm planning on once the account is passed, around $500, possibly for 25 trades. That might change. We'll see. And the payout plan is after the first 5K. Withdraw 50%. And then from there, I think, I mean, with talking to you and other people doing it, and Amal, and might try to figure out an actual good way to take the payouts. But the priority, honestly, is, I didn't even put it on here, the priority is education, but then to protect the account. And then profits follow with discipline. So I'll be trading to demonstrate consistency, discipline, and process. So that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I do think I was going to change my profit target after I got to funded, and literally just change it to 1.5 R, from 3 R to 1.5 R. And then, so at that point, you'd be risking $100 to win 150 or lose 100. But your goal is to get to 5 or 450 basically, and then take, let's see, the account costs you 100, so you'd want to take out 200, and then start another funded account and do the process over, repeated.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
Yeah, that's one way to do it. I was going to ask you a question. What do you mean by getting to 450?
$450. So that would be 3 trades, right? You'd win 150. So if you won 3 trades in a row, you could pull $200 out. But that's why I asked you about the limitations on when you could pull money out. And so if you'd have to get 5 winning trades, then you could do it at 5 winning trades, because the RVR should work out over that amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 1.5 R, I don't think, even with the solid strategy, you should just be able to hit that randomly at any sort of pivot situation, whether it be, you know, like a what do they call, triangles and things like that, price structure or whatever. I mean, just I'm going to still be taking it to my strategy correct, but on my cash account, I just plan on keeping that 3 R target. But on these funded accounts, just 1.5 R, let it hit its target. It's done for the day. Just,
yeah. It's a curious way to think about it, because I'm thinking the opposite way. I'm going, because I've been trading at +3 for a while now. I was at +4, and after doing some calculations and stuff, I figure, you know what, +3 hits way more often.
Yes.
But it's basically you're playing with the prop firm's money. I put it in quotes because it's not live trading, it's simulation trading, but it's their money. So for me to have to try to get to 3R on, let's say, a $500 risk, then I'm making $1,500 to lose 500. Whether you're making 300 to lose 100, I'd rather go a little bit larger because I know my strategies work most of the time, right? So that's yeah, and I might change. We'll see. It's not easy. Passing the combine or trading with prop firms is not necessarily easier, but I think with the psychology of it, it's not. I don't know. You paid $120 or $150, let's say, for a $50,000 buying power account. I don't want to aim for $150 personally. I don't want to aim for $150. I want to aim for, you know, $1,000 or $1,500.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
the strategy is collect premium, not necessarily collect profits. Like I'm looking for a steady, slow. This is my steady, slow income drip versus my cash account is more what you're saying. Like I'm really using it to build the account.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of like in this situation, keeping it very small. That way, if the accounts fail, I can rebuild what I just built. You know what I mean? Like it's not like I spent all this time building this grand structure that come tumbling down. I'm just looking to pass one account, get that double that profit that I started with, start another fund, start another account, build that up. Now you have two accounts in like small drip. That's the plan. We'll see how it works out over a long scale.
Yeah, well, keep me posted. I'm like I said, I haven't done this. I don't know exactly how it's going to do. I don't know how my psychology is going to be affected by the prop firm. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of moving parts, and we'll see. Let's see how things go. I'm curious to see how you're going to do it. And especially the idea of building another account pretty much as soon as you get your first one. I was thinking more of I'm going to do the combine because at the end of the day, what my plan is to trade on my own account. And what I'm doing right now is basically learning the system, learning how the futures move as compared to what I've been used to the last year with this and options. And then to get back into funding my own futures account. So that's my plan, but it's going to change. I mean, it's nothing set in stone, and I'll be curious to see how things go for you. And that's something that I didn't put on this list, but I didn't want to get too far ahead of myself. But after the funded account, let me bring it back up here. After this funded account here, the next step will be to start over and do it again.
Yes, yeah.
Start over, do it again, and then get to 4 or 5 accounts. I believe Top Step, you can have 5 accounts, and then show how the trade copying works, right? Share that, right? Get into a trade, but basically that trade's being copied into 5 other accounts, and seeing how that works. When that happens, I don't know if I'm going to be at $500 per account. You know, maybe not. Maybe it'll be brought down to $100. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what this whole prop firm things can produce. I've been avoiding it, and I don't know why. I think early on, there was a lot of scams out there, especially the information where I get my information is pretty much all on X. There's a lot of scams out there. So and there's so many people that are that are sharing screens and that it's not real trading. And I don't know, I wasn't too keen on prop firms, but I figured now, especially after Amal's presentation, it's like, he's also in Canada. So I just figured, you know what, it works in Canada. Let's try it. Let's see. So yeah, I'll be sharing the process and answering questions in the chat or on here. It's great that you're talking with me. If you're doing it at the same time, let's share information and see what it is that that it can offer us.
I'm still working on the RVR, but I don't think that. I mean, I had a very similar strategy to Amal. I just applied his concepts of the 15-minute breakout and XYZ, and now everything makes sense. So that strategy is fine and working, but I still need to know like the RVR, the distance, and how much to risk. And once I get that down, I'll be ready to go.
Yeah, good. Awesome. And I don't know if you use TradingView for your testing and charting, but I would suggest that you do, because are you planning on Top Step as well?
Yes.
Okay, because Top Step, their platform is TradingView. I know a lot of people they use TradingView as the backbone of their prop firms, or I think even TradeZella. I think they use TradingView as well as the backbone of their charting. So it's good to know that charting platform.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I use DAS for day trading, and then I have IBKR. I use their trader workstation to trade options sometimes.
Yeah, I'm also with IB, but I have never placed the trade in TWS.
Yeah, me neither. That's why I've been trying to learn it, but yeah, if I'm going to learn TradingView, that seems
it's
more productive than continuing to learn. I don't like it at all. I don't like TWS at all.
Yeah, Trader Workstation, for those of you who don't know, I have a lot of respect for Interactive Brokers. They've been fantastic as far as I haven't dealt with any other brokers, but their trading platform is incredibly powerful, but also incredibly complicated, especially for options. I mean, there's so many moving parts. I like DOS because the options trading that I do is very simple in DOS. It's either, if you're going long, you buy calls. If you're going short, you buy puts. As far as straddles and butterflies and all the other stuff, I would use Interactive Brokers, but I'm just not there yet.
Yeah.
So interesting price action right now. PLTR up 6%. Sorry, I just shared my Yahoo trading alerts. Curious to see how this candle closes on Tesla, right? We broke out, we retested. We're having trouble at this area, and this is a higher time frame, even short, like it was the high of pre-market on Friday, right? This is where we really rejected hard and then came back down. Even the massive move this morning in the markets. Yes, it's a big move in Tesla as well, but it's only getting back to yesterday's highs, or sorry, Friday's highs. So what it does in this area over here is very interesting to me. I want to see, will it break out of there and go take out liquidity above 385 and then continue moving up? Or has it hit its ATR right now and we're just saying, you know what, let's take some profits out of this and then move back down, especially the fact that we are just going sideways in Qs and SPY. So interesting level here in Tesla is what I'm looking at. It definitely looks like a break and retest, especially on this candle here, and then breaking out further and now making new highs. We never came down below this KT. And by the way, for my KT strategy, somebody was asking me just a little while ago, if this candle had closed near the bottom here in red, my strategy says to short it if we make a new low. However, now that we've put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we're on the 9th candle. This is no longer something that I look at, right? Even if it's just 2 or 3 candles later, if we're making new highs, then I disregard this KT. The only way I would look at it again is as a double top. So if we come up here and reject again this area, then I would start looking at my double top strategy. Right? So that's what I'm looking at for AMD. Amazon, it's a very short double top. I like a minimum of 3 candles, 3 5-minute candles between my tops. But we could be rejecting over here as well. We're just consolidating, going sideways in Microsoft, NVIDIA, Google, right? Spying cues as well. We don't know. First of all, a lot of smart money is saying, okay, is this news true that things might be getting better in the Middle East? Because they're not going to start putting millions or hundreds of millions of dollars into positions unless they're sure. And I think we're still gathering information. So it's still early. We could be chopping around here for the next few days. So I'm not in a hurry to put on a position. AMD, I will set an alert above the 208.29 here. So I'm setting an alert on DOS. I do have a hotkey for that. There you go. For me, it's just Control A, sets an alert above here. This is just chop here. Amazon. Let me look at Amazon here on TradingView. Amazon. It is on the 1-minute time frame. It is a double top formation. Did come from obviously from a much lower area. I do not like trading the 1-minute time frame. So yeah, it's making new highs and it's above R6. So those are strikes as far as I'm concerned for shorting. I will not short above R6. If this were to be a rejection candle right at this level, I don't know why I have this level here, or I don't know when I put it on, but it's been there for a while. It touched it, and then if this were to be a 5-minute, it wicked above, but a 5-minute kangaroo tail, and it started selling, we started seeing the selling, then this could be a short below R6 and aiming to R4 or possibly R3 where we retested here. So, but the first level would be R4. If it were, and this is something that I do, usually I just eyeball it, but if I were to go short, this is where it would be. The entry would be just below R6. The stop would have to be above the wick. And then I calculate, can I get to 3R getting to my target here? And the answer is yes. Right? So I can take this away and I can look at it and see if it sets up. Right? So now I know that if I short at R6 with a stop above my level here, it is possible to get to 3R. Right? Hopefully that makes sense. And with only 10 minutes left, I said I was going to share what I did on cues. Hopefully I left it there. Yeah, let's look at that one. I just want to put an alert on Amazon. There's the 5-minute. It is making new lows. Hang on a second. Let me just look at it on my main platform. Amazon. Are we selling? Still above R6. 212. If it comes below 212 here, below, I want to be alerted. Okay, so you didn't see that, but I just put an alert just below 212 here. All right, so now that my alert is set, I can look at the cues. This is what I was looking at on Friday. The actual trade was here, so let's replay here. Let's go and replay. Well, that was the entry there. So let's go back there. And this, I had an arrow there because I was explaining why this was an important I should have recorded a video of it, or anyway, this was a 50% retracement here. I'm trying to remember what I did, and I don't remember. At the low, I know that this had kissed it right there, but did I take it on cues? Sorry for the confusion here. Yeah, I took a short position on cues. I think it was right around here. Still on the 30-minute, but let's look here. It was a 50% retracement. So from the high of this candle right here, the 5-minute candle, from that high to the low over here, it retraced, but here it doesn't show 50%. But anyway, I had it into an area where I did not need a large I did not need a big move. I shorted on this area over here. It did not hit right away. It hit during a meeting at 1 o'clock or just after 1 o'clock. There you go. So this is where it filled over here. And that wasn't my stop. So you know what? I should have planned it a little bit better because this shows that I would have been stopped out. I do have an image of it though. So hang on one second. There you go. This is it here. There you go. So anyway, I'll have to come back to this one on tomorrow, just to show what the reasoning was. But it was breaking down here. This was a 5-minute kangaroo tail before the open. I would not short here. It broke down and retested from this high to this low. This was a 61.8% retracement. I did not short here, but then we consolidated over here and we had trouble getting up above. And this was on whatever platform. I think it was on NQ, or it might have been on MNQ, and it might have been a little bit different, but I did get the signal that it was rejecting the 50%. On a new 5-minute low, which is my entry right there. You can tell where I went short. Stop was right above the wick here and got to 3R at 130 over here. So, I mean, that shows the trade. And it was on the 50% retracement continuation. And same thing or similar thing happened with a short on Rivian. And what was the other one? The other one was Tesla break and retest short. I won't try to put it. It's not a trade that I did take, but it's something that we were talking about. This was a short on Friday. Sorry, this was the move on Friday. It broke. It came and retested at this level here. It wicked. And this is where I was saying during the session on Friday that if we came back and retested this area, it might be a short. If somebody had gone short below here, it went below, but just by 1 cent. But if your stop was above here, you would have hit target down here. So that was one that, and I did not take this. It did not set up the way that I like it. So those are the trades I was looking at on Friday. I only took the one trade. It was a 3R trade on the Qs. I wasn't planning on taking anything because I was already green on the week, but I figured I'm okay to risk 1R, and I did. There's only 4 minutes left, so I'm just going to share that what I do on the combine, I will be recording, and I will be sharing tomorrow. So if I do anything today, I'll be sharing during the morning session tomorrow what it is that I saw, why I took it, and what the result was. I'm going to be incredibly transparent with the combine. I'm going to be showing the P&L, and hopefully it's not embarrassing. Hopefully I pass it after within a month, and we'll see. Hopefully it's something that I can do before the end of next week. I'm going to give myself in my head I can do this in 2 weeks. So if there are any questions or anything you guys want to share in the last couple of minutes, please go ahead. Otherwise, I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to stick around for a couple minutes here to see if anybody has anything else to say. Otherwise, I'll be logging off. Thank you, Shane. Thank you. My alert is about to go off on Amazon. I want to see what it does over here. It could be a short, but I want to see what it does at pre-market high. Because, I mean, to short at 212 here with pre-market high, that dotted line right there, that is absolutely possible support. So there's no RVR right here. But what does it do under here? Right? Do we really start breaking down? And that is R6, by the way, as well. So that's pretty much all I'm seeing. It's just a lot of chop. So I doubt I'll be doing anything in the top step.
Below alert.
There is the alert on Amazon. Right? But again, I want to see what it does here. Right? And that's how I trade. Yeah, there's an alert, but my alert just tells me to look at it. Right? So this is shaping up as a possible double top, but I mean, we went above the top 3 times. So we were really showing possible rejection over here. I want to see what this level, 211.70, what does that do? Are we just pulling back to this level again for the further move up? Possibly. So I'm not going to short right now. But what it does at this level of interest here is what I'm interested in. If it breaks down below here and gives me a signal, it could go short, and we could be aiming for the 210 area, right around this area. So anyway, if I do anything, I'll be sharing it tomorrow. It's almost 10:30, so I'm going to log off. I believe Avi said he was going to be coming back or trying to log in a little bit later on. Otherwise, I'll be back tomorrow. All right. Cheers, gang. Have a great day.